BYDFi is a crypto exchange on desktop and mobile where you can spot trade, futures trade, use leverage tokens, and copy the trades of top trade. There's hundreds of crypto available on their spot exchange, as well as a free test account so you can practice futures trading without getting wrecked. BYDFi. Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at Atom. That's right, but first, just looking at the Dixie now. I mean, there isn't a great deal of support below us on any significant time frame, being the weekly, the daily, the 4-hourly. We're kind of losing the plot all over the place really at this point. So it does look like relatively plain sailing down to lower areas, which is pretty impressive, I'd say. My target on this at the moment, and again, the Dixie is sort of like and ahhing, bit up, bit down, bit up, bit down, but effectively it's breaking the trend. My target is going to be about just below 101 really, so effectively it's going to be 100.8 really. That's kind of my target on this one. And at that point, we should honestly, I'm not joking, we should really 100% really think about the reality of this bouncing at that point. You know, you can't be massively bearish on the dollar. It is what it is. Like, this is technically an uptrend anyway on the weekly, so you just got to respect that that is what we're looking at. And if this was any other chart, you know, that you were bullish on, and I know that we all have a tendency to remain or have a bias of being bearish on the Dixie because it favors pretty much everything else that we do in the world. The reality is that we're likely to see either a bounce around basically 100.8, and maybe at best we dip down to this 200 simple moving average, which is about 99.2, and then we're like a really decent bounce. I'm not saying a big massive bounce. I know a lot of people always say, oh, just back up to the top here and wreck city. I mean, all of that is absolutely possible. It really is honestly possible, but I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen. You take it level by level, bit by bit. We are breaking down now, looking for a bounce between here and here. And that bounce will be felt across the board. Now, you know, we're looking at everything at the moment, you know, and I think I said it a few weeks ago, it's getting into that period of the market where, like, anybody and anything can make money on these charts. Because it's, well, I suppose, bull market, isn't it, really? It's kind of, what do you want to call it? I mean, it's degenerate phase of trading, really. So it's difficult to not make money. In fact, I would probably go as far as to say it's hard to lose money currently, or has been. But these markets, just like any markets, are not normally this easy. And so when markets become easy like this, because they are easy, and I'm not joking, you could have bought anything and looked back and gone, yes, I am a genius, baby. The reality is that it's not that you're a genius. At this point, you might be a genius, but right now, it's just very easy. And when things become easy, we have a tendency to be complacent, and we also have a tendency to overtrade and jump from one thing to the next thing to the next thing without any planning whatsoever. So, yeah, there looks like there's going to be further upside across the board, full stop, but it will come to an end. And you know, when periods of altcoin mania, which is basically what's happening right now, kick in, when it comes to an end, it can be very abrupt and very painful. And so level by level is fine. So we're going to talk about Atom this morning, because it is one of my long-term hodls, and I expect good things from it long-term. We're breaking out of this major area, this $12 at the moment, which means that we can come down to retest it. This daily has now got a 10 exponential that has catapulted above that now. The 21 and the 20 is still a little bit below this now. Look, this is not unlike any of the other charts, and this is why everything's going up, because many charts have this kind of setup, which was your golden cross, your retest of it. In this instance, it actually came down closer towards the 200 simple, and then V-shaped recovery and then some. So it's very common to see this. Like, we talk about it all the time. In fact, it's become a standard across the board for any setup that you find. It's one of the better ones. So big move up, golden cross, retest, V-shape, then some. So what you'd be looking for now really would be a pullback into some moving averages, because yesterday we did get a big move on it. If you think about, it wasn't yesterday, it was a couple of days, but over the last 2 days you got 26% move on Atom. It's a really big move that there, and a consolidation is required really for this to continue on. The best place, or not necessarily the best place, But the most obvious place would be a moving average on a daily, which brings us to around 1260, 1270. And if we pull back further, all the way down to 12, that would be a retest of a major support. You'd be looking for that to break out, the breakout level to maintain its support level. Also, momentum's played a big part in this one. So we saw this consolidation. We've been watching it for a long time on the Patreon. It was long and painful, actually. Really long, drawn-out consolidation. But there was lots of areas, push, push, dush, dush. And then we flipped it, but the support was the prior resistance. But it didn't really help because it was so steep. And then we lost it again. Dush, 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 dush. And then finally, with 1, 2, 3... 4 drives of bullish divergence, we managed to bounce and recover, and actually we've had a very bold move, really. Really, to be honest with you, that's been very decent. It's taken a long time, though, I have to say. Now, what I would say about this is, and it's similar to a few other charts that we look at on the Patreon, and there is a live stream tonight if you want to join that. You've got to be a Patreon, obviously, so there's links in the description below. £7.50 a week, 2 live streams. No, £7.50 a month, 2 live streams a week. Sorry, I can't get my words out here. I haven't digested my coffee yet. But yeah, if you want to join that, we'll be looking at loads and loads of charts. But the setup, or should I say, the chart structure, is not too dissimilar to Chainlink's, which was, we found our all-time low when everybody sort of crashed back in June last year, well, 2022 actually. So that was where the low was found, and we've basically been meandering within a range, and this is quite a large range, larger than most. And when you have these very large ranges, because look, the top is 17, the low is basically 5.5, that is an enormous range to be playing within. And at the moment we're above the center, so if you imagine this being Chainlink, that is basically $5 Chainlink. Up here is about $9.50 Chainlink, and so right now the equivalent of buying Atom is, what I would say, is roughly about a $7.50 Chainlink kind of vibe. You know, this is one giant accumulation area, and you might think, well, that is a big accumulation, isn't it, mate? I mean, can you really accumulate within a 200% range? You can accumulate within any range, really. This is a range, and it is accumulating. And the beauty of any accumulation range, if that's what this is, which I think it is that when it finally breaks out, it goes kapow, and it does position Atom to move into the hundreds, really. Several hundreds, I would imagine, if this is the appropriate way to be looking at it. Now, because we're still in an accumulation range, we haven't broken out, there's good news and there's bad news. You could start to accumulate it at today's price after what has been a pretty decent breakout, but it does offer the risk of coming back down to the bottom of the range again. And you think, well, what? But I thought this was going to go to like 100 or 200 or something. It can. But you can also expect to go up and down, up and down, up and down while accumulating. Because if this is accumulating, which I think it is, then you have to be willing to accept that it's going to move with the market. And if the market is good, it can move up. And if the market is bad, it can get hurt quite nastily, which is why it's gone all the way from 17 to 6 and then back up again. You know, this is just one giant, massive accumulation range. When it went bullish, and I suppose even within the accumulation range, when it goes bullish, it's big moves up, big moves down, big moves up. September 2021, big moves down, and then back up again. Like this, this was your May sort of crash that everybody felt that there. Atom went up to make a peak and then a double top. This is not the sort of thing you saw from other altcoins. This did it on its own. Bing, boom, bang, bing, boom, bang. So Atom has a history of being particularly volatile anyway. Savagely volatile, which is why I think that once this accumulation range above 17 is broken out from, this would probably get tagged straight away. I don't see a problem with that. You know, we might have a little stumbling block somewhere between the 20s and the 30s, but really, I think it should go straight up to the previous high and then a blue sky breakout. It's not the oldest chart in the world either, so that, you know, comes with some, I suppose, positives and negatives. Positive being that, it will go into price discovery quite quickly. Negatives being because it only really came into existence in May 19, I suppose it knew the majority of the last bull market and the bear market, so we do have enough price history, just enough, literally just enough, to work out how it behaved in the last bull market. So it was slow and steady, I would say, wins the race. It started at a price of $4, actually went all the way down to as little as $1, peaked around here, around $8 in August 2020. Then Bitcoin stole the show, and then it really took off. So it does require an alt season, or at least a period of time where alts take the lead. Unlike Chainlink, which has and can, and XRP, detach from the overall market and go off and do its own thing regardless. Both XRP and Chainlink have proven to do that, several times in the past. Whereas when we look at this, Atom, if anything, what Atom's doing is it's like a very messy but emphasized version of Ethereum. So look, this is definitely a keeper. It's a good hodler. You can certainly hodl this quite easily with a variety of different platforms staking it for quite high amounts. I stake mine on Swissborg, but you can stake it pretty much anywhere and get at least 10% APR on it. So it's the easiest thing to buy and hold and stake. One of the better options, but to expect it to explode on its own is different. This is definitely a cycle, a full crypto cycle hodl type vibe, rather than any kind of trader's paradise, I would say. And slow and steady will win the race on this one, getting your 10% or whatever it is that you're able to get. Now, if you're looking for immediate continuation, absolutely you can see this move up to $17. But a rejection from that level is very likely. I don't see this having the capacity to break out from this level at this moment in time. It's done a decent move over the last couple of months. Obviously, be quite close to doing a 200% move at that point. So, probably from a trader's perspective, think about limiting positions or certainly not taking positions from there. From a hodler's perspective, all of this area is fair game, because the end result is likely to be up here somewhere. And that would be your target in the hundreds, maybe several $100 zones. But that is going to take time. That you're going to be subject to ups and downs, just like we all were for Chainlink when we were buying that between $6 and $9, basically. We were up, we were down, we were up, we were down, we were up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down for a long period of time. Relatively confident and comfortable with the fact that what we're doing actually is accumulating in a range which will one day break out and not be seen again, or if it is seen again, won't be seen again for many years. And that is now proven to be the case. Right, so I'll leave it with you there. There's not much more to say about it than that. So just think about the Dixie coming back down. We've still got a little bit of time left, but let's not get complacent. Thinking about new trades, I would probably say hold off from taking any particularly large positions between now and next week. Dips probably better for buying, and dips might be generated some point very soon as Ethereum is approaching its previous all-time high into the mid 4,000s towards 5,000, and Bitcoin just kind of chilling out really at this range. So look, there is opportunity across the board in the market, but I can't stress enough, don't get complacent, don't get used to high prices. You know what's going to come at some point, which will be a massive dump across the board, and it will trap so many people. One thing I just wanted to put across to you is that, when people buy crypto for the first time, right? So let's think about this, right? So there's people buying crypto for the very first time. Where are they doing it? So they don't know anything to do with charts. They've never looked at a chart. They don't know charts. They certainly don't know how to read them, and that's fine. These people do many things better than all of us. Everyone's got their own thing, and they're new to it. So where they're going to be buying it from? Probably somewhere, I would say, probably like Coinbase, for instance, which really don't reference charts, and if they do or they don't, it's not about that. It's more about, you want some crypto? I'll sell it to you. I'll make it nice and easy. There's a big button here that says buy, a big button here that says sell, and basically I'll keep it for you, and that's fine. That's how most people get into crypto. Now, when you see retailers coming into crypto, not the small ones, not the young ones, we're talking about the middle-aged, the older ones that have decided to try it, right? So they go to a nice easy platform like Coinbase. Charts mean nothing. It doesn't mean that they're FOMOing, but they're not looking at supports and resistances. They're literally just blindly buying to own the crypto. It's going up. Okay, I'll buy some. It's going to keep going up. So this is what keeps the market propped up, really, because what they're doing is market buying. There's hundreds of thousands, millions, multi-millions of market buys, and that's what keeps the market going green. You know, they're not limit orders. You know, they're not like, oh, I'll buy on the dip to keep the support. You know, where's the least riskiest place to buy this coin from at this exact level? I'll buy it there. That's, you know, highlighting the fact that the support is likely to hold as a support. No, it's none of that. It's basically buy because I'm ready to buy now. It's got nothing to do with the chart. It's got nothing to do with the exact price or a moving average or a fib retracement or anything like that. It's just a matter of pressing that big, juicy buy button. That's what's creating the green candles, because they're market buys. A market buy effectively, excuse me, I got a frog in my throat. A market buy effectively is buying at the market value or above, never below, market value or above, and that creates greens. It also creates reds when you do the opposite. Okay, shall I sell? It's going down, better sell, 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 sell. Everyone pressing sell. That is a market sell. That is selling for the market value or less, creating more red candles. So this is what's happening right now. Lots of market buys creating green candles. Indiscriminate green candles across the board. Less of a trading thing, more of a, I suppose, getting your foot in the door. Not so much a FOMO, but it is kind of FOMO, getting your foot in the door, creating the green candles. So this is why everybody and everything is going green. So I just wanted to put that to you then, that this is sort of an emotional period in the market. And it will remain emotional because at the moment the emotions are high and happy, but they will go they will go from green to red, and they will turn to sorrow, sadness, and panic at some point, and it will be chaos. So just remember that, because you know, people do forget that crypto does do that. People do forget that. It's very easy to forget that crypto can be profitable when it's red. And you look at it and go, oh my god, I'll never buy it. It's dead. It's over. Scam. Blah. It's very hard to remember what it's like when it goes down, when it's going up. Oh, I'll just buy this. I'm a genius. I'll buy this. I'm a genius. I'm indestructible. You're not indestructible. You will get destroyed. So I'm just, you know, I'm a trader, obviously, so I'm just trying to put it to you. Think about what it is that you're doing before you do it. Don't just do it. Think about it before you do it. Anyway, that's a nice long lecture for the morning. I'll leave it with you there. But thanks for watching. And again, you know, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I don't have that many subscribers. Lots of other YouTubers have got all the subscribers, and I really don't understand why. I'm pretty sure a lot of them, from what I can see, just read articles. They just read articles. Anyway, I'll leave it with you there. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.